But
I think it's awesome.
of course, yeah. But of course, the cons, especially with cartridges. Are we going to be back to having to blow these things out ever so often, or sticking socks in between it to make sure it sticks in correctly? What we used to do in the old school
Never
days.
heard of that one.
Um,
Socks?
yeah,
Yeah,
but
what?
also
Explain
Never
that.
use socks to
Explain that. I
hold
never
back up
used
socks.
socks, dude.
you would roll a I would have to roll up a sock, usually like a baby sock or a kid sock, um, really small, and
A
stick it
baby
into the
sock.
side.
I feel like you're lying
Yeah,
right now.
stick it in there, I guess, because after a while the cartridge wouldn't fit in properly. It would be too loose, and the baby sock would help it stick firmly in there.
Whose baby sock did you
You
steal?
are crazy.
Well, I grew up with a baby sister. She's 7 years younger than me, so
And you were stealing her socks to play your video games.
yeah, I mean, yep.
It's
If
messed
it's
up.
that or be bored twiddling my thumbs with her, so.
She's boring. She's a boring, stupid baby. Give her your socks. Trying to play video games. Okay, welcome everyone to Supercrouchcast number 5. Can you guys believe we've been doing this for an entire month now? I just realized that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am Patrick St. Pierre,
Well,
aka.
this is actually episode 6, too.
What? Why is it 6?
This
Are
is
you
our
serious?
episode .5.
Is it .5? Why do you say that?
We had our
That was like
first
the very
episode.
first.
It wasn't
Oh,
our first.
you're right. This is technically that was a practice run. That was the prequel.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm Patrick St. Pierre, aka Pretty Smooth Flying Fox, and joining me this week, first up, is a man known only as Russo. What's up, dude?
What up? It's Russo. Welcome to the stream. I'm
Back
in
at
the
it again.
podcast. Yep.
Yeah. And next up is our jumper from the West Coast, Hugh Stewart, who just gave a sacrifice to the toilet gods. That's why we had to do this late. What's up, Q?
Yeah, what up, it happens, everybody has to go through it. But I'm back in here, ready to go, I'm in action, it's the fourth quarter, I'm pumped, let's do it.
Word. So,
It's the
welcome.
fourth quarter just took you so long from all the fiber you ate.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. I know, I thought I was
Out the Kachi.
Oh, that
Oh,
Kashi
that Kashi
cereal.
cereal.
Yeah, sorry guys if I sound a little bit tired. I've had a long week with all this Rise of Iron hype. Been spending my whole day just like tense out of excitement for Destiny. And then we got all that E3 hype coming out. So this one's gonna be pretty casual. We're gonna be talking about, just sort of some news that's been coming up, things that have been concerning us, because next week is gonna be a huge podcast all about E3. So check that out. So let's get right into the most exciting news, in my opinion, is going to be the Rise of Iron that just dropped. Q, what do you think about that, dude? You know I'm hyped.
Yeah, I'm kind of hyped too. I
Kind of.
I still have theories that we could be possibly time traveling though.
Oh, yeah?
And fighting that fight. Yeah, because if you think about it, time travel is there. The capabilities are there from the Golden
Sure,
Age,
the
and
Vex.
then
The Vex are time travelers.
yeah, you have the Vex, yeah, who time travel. So who's to say, we don't time travel to go back in time or forwards in time? I think it's a cool possibility that they haven't tried yet. So why not?
Yeah, word. Well, here's the thing. So we got a new 6-player raid coming out, which is awesome, because I'm so thirsty for 6-player content. Like I love the 3-player content for just like being casual and stuff like that. It's a lot easier to put together a team. But we got a whole new raid coming out, and we have zero details on that. So time travel could definitely be playing a part, especially because we got the Iron Lord. So we've been playing. I love the Iron Banana. I play it every time it comes up. I get myself level up to 5, and I got all my characters decked out in Iron Banana gear. So I love it. So to hear that we're gonna be, learning more about these Iron Lords, um, connected with all of these weapons that we've got. We've got Finalia's Peril. We've got Felwinter's Lie, the infamous Felwinter's Lie, the most hated and loved shotgun at the same time. Like, I'm so hyped to find out what happened with Felwinter and like what he was lying about. We're going to be playing alongside Lord Saladin, or Lord Salad Pants, as we will refer to him in
Well,
the
I call
future.
him Lord Salad Man.
A salad man. Oh, well, I think he's got salad pants. If you pay attention, he's got little lettuce leaves on his armor. We got a new story campaign. So Q, I know you've been thirsty
Hell
for
yeah,
that.
hell
Um,
yeah.
I'm loving this new hunter gear. I know you made a hunter. We got like Anubis cats coming out for the what's it called? The rise of the I keep thinking Rise of Osiris, the Trials of Osiris. That gear looks amazing.
which is
So
coming
we
back
got a lot
tomorrow.
to look forward to. Is it coming back tomorrow? The Trials? Oh yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
right.
Yep.
Tomorrow's Trials is day. We got to put together a team for that, by the way. Anybody listening, yo, if you want to play some Trials with us, let us know. We've been doing a lot of PoE stuff and like Crucible, but I'm ready to get into the Trials for serious. So we got a new enemy called the Devil Splicers. Russo, you may recognize these guys because to me, this whole story is literally the Flood. They've got a virus on them, like a technological virus called SIVA, which is makes them like augmented fallen, and they've got these little pikes that they walk around on. Like the dregs have these pikes, they walk around like pirates. Um, the captains, they look like screwed up, like technologically screwed up. I don't know, just uh, anomalies. It's basically Flood all
Yeah,
over again. I
like
see this
mutant,
card being played.
deformed.
Yeah, I saw this. I saw them play this card back in Halo. So I don't know if you're
Are
hyped
they
for
like
that.
humanoid?
Yeah,
I'm looking into it right now, and I'm mostly I just googled deviled splicers,
yeah.
and I'm just finding splicers from Bioshock. So
Yeah,
I
no,
don't really
different.
know.
Close though. I mean, that's
Mhm.
the concept, is what they're doing is taking the technology. So it looks like we're going to be looking at one of the war mines. Rasputin is the war mine we've been connected with, and I really want to know more about that because that's dope. I mean, think about this omnipotent, huge mind that is basically more powerful than anything that we've seen besides maybe the Traveler. Um, it's this huge brain and network of things. So there's another one. Q, do you remember the name of it?
Yep. It's called Charlemagne or
Charlemagne.
Charlemagne, something like that, and it's on
Charlemagne, yeah.
Mars. Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll be seeing him. And what it looks like is that he's going to be, or it, I don't want to say he, I don't want to be gender biased here. It could be a she, it's got a male name though, is that it's been taken over by this virus called SIVA and then are like pumping out this flood. Or I don't want to say flood. I should probably stop saying that. But these devil splicers, right? Because it looks like the House of Devils are the ones that were like wandered in there and was screwing around with it and are now more powerful. So we're getting a new raid. We're getting a new PvP type of play. Hopefully, I mean
Also,
everybody's saying custom matches, but I doubt it.
it
Also, what?
seems that some of our weapons have already been infused by Charlemagne because if you
Hmm.
find some of the weapons, I think some of them were blue, legendary, but for sure there's an exotic. I think it's a pulse rifle.
Hmm.
I'm not too sure. I definitely don't know the name of it, but the initials CHLM could be found in as part of the description. Just like you would
Really?
find, Cyros or something like that as part of the
Yeah,
description,
yeah.
at the end
Like
of
the
the
source
description
machine.
for some of the guns. Yeah, so be on the lookout for some of those because it could lead into some lore, possible background for Charlemagne, war mine for Mars.
Okay, word. Okay, so speaking of new weapons, we got a big ass flaming axe. I'm so down for this new relic, dude. Like, the basketball was cool, and I know you didn't get to like. I don't think you got through. Either one of you got through the raid that many times. But in the first,
Which raid are we talking about?
the Taken King, the King's
Yeah, I
Fall
don't
raid.
even have the Taken King.
Oh yeah, you don't have it. Yeah. Really good raid, really good piece of content. That was a puzzle. That was a big puzzle that we had to figure out, and they really did a good job on that. But the first raid, which was the Vault of Glass, which I love, and I wish they would revamp that or give us some more or something like that. Make it another challenge mode because I love that raid. That was a shield, and I felt heroic as hell running around with that shield, especially in the raid, like being the sort of pivotal thing that is making your team go through. And in the second raid with Crota, there was a sword. You had to kill the sword bearer at the end, and the only thing that could hurt Crota was the sword, which was amazing. And the shield back in the day would give you the shield so that like you could shield their whole team. They could shoot through it, but Atheon couldn't shoot at you guys, and that's how you burned him down. And then the second one, the only thing that would hurt Crota was the sword. So somebody again like being the sword bearer was the best, dude. It was so much fun. You just felt so heroic. And when everybody had their loot drop after you did that last smash, um, it just felt good. Like you felt like, yeah, I did something important. I helped my buddies out. Like I was the leader of that. And in the King's Fall raid, there was like basically you had to grab these basketballs and like slam dunk them in different places, and it served its purpose and it was pretty cool. And you were still pretty important. Like that slam dunk felt damn good. especially when you're coming up from like in the sisters area where you had to like defeat these two sisters that were like screaming their heads off and they were invulnerable until you slam dunk them. That
Yeah,
was
it kind
cool,
of
but
felt
it
like
wasn't a weapon.
Jordan in a Space Jam.
Yeah, yeah, from downtown breaking the glass, you know. And then
Hmm.
but this time we have an axe, so I'm really curious to see, the Crota. The way they leaked the Crota sword was to have it in the world and like have the swords of Crota drop it. I think that'd be dope if it's in the real world. I would still be okay if it was just in the raid. So I'm really curious to see like where that flaming axe comes from and what we're gonna be doing with it. But we're gonna have a lot of fun like destroying things with that. So yeah, man. I mean, that's just a lot of the things that we have to look forward to for Destiny. There's more to get into. I'm sure we're gonna get a lot of stuff in E3. We may just have like we have a few specific casts planned in the future. We've got a Dark Souls cast planned, and we also I would like to do a Destiny cast just because I tend to about it a lot, and I feel bad for taking up so much space in the podcast on just doing that. So maybe we should dial it down. If we have a little interest, like if people tell us that they want that, that would be awesome. Q, do you have anything else to add about the Rise of Iron besides hype? Oh shit, I forgot about the most important part. I am so sorry. But do you have something to add before I drop that?
Uh, well, I do. It's about the axe. Like, if you remember, like you were saying way back when in the raid, I think you were saying you had to use the sword, and then the first sword that we ever had was the hive sword that will pop
Mm-hmm.
up, in the open world in the map, and this is just going to be how the axe is. So I'm thinking later down the road the axe will be available just like the sword was, because the hive sword was just there as I feel like as a tester, and then once they got the feedback from it, then they introduced the swords that we now currently have, which is now four of them if you include the Taken sword.
The
So I'm
Taken
thinking
Sword.
it's the same thing. They're trying to maybe drop it in to be here ever so often. If you get to find it, go ahead and use it. Hooray for you for finding it. But I think at some point later on down the road, it'll be an exotic quest for it, or some type of legendary quest for it, for us to be able to wield it whenever we want to, as long as we have heavy ammo.
Sure, and they had the basketball in, I forget what the real name of it was, but they had it in a lot of like strikes and things like that, which was cool. I do regret, like I wish they had the shield somehow in the world. I mean, that thing was just so cool, and we don't get to see it anymore. But I mean, the axe could just be a reskin, right? The way they swing the swords and things like that, like the swords that we have that we own,
Yeah.
you could just reskin it. I could totally see a battle axe in the future. The other thing is, everybody gets a Galahorn, no matter what. That is so damn exciting. It was the most prized possession of any Destiny player back in the day, man. Like in year one, if you had a Galahorn, you could pretty much solo anything. I don't know if it's going to be as powerful, but anyone that pre-orders gets a black Galahorn, which is kind of cool, and I think that's a really great way of like giving pre-order gear, just like or pre-order perks, just like you can do the Kingsfall hard raid and get um, harrowed like items, and so you'd have get like the rocket launcher. You get the harrowed version and the regular version. So with the Galahorn, you'll get the regular Galahorn and you'll get the black Galahorn. I'm so excited for that thing to come back, man. I super miss it. The only thing
Well,
I wish is that they would bring back the Vex Mythoclast, because that's my actual favorite gun in the game. It's the raid weapon from the vault, and they'll never bring it back. It's too powerful.
what they were also said was that you'll be able to find pieces and then go to the foundry and then build your own. Because they
Yeah.
were saying that oh, my friend had four or five of them and I never got one. Well, now it's no longer boo-hoo for you if you can't find it, if you're not that lucky. Now you'll be able just to build your own, build your own Galahorn. So I'm
Mm.
wondering now if this is something they're trying to introduce that's going to be new, kind of like how the Division has, where you'll find blueprint piece parts, and then you'll be able to forge your own that weapon from the blueprint parts. So maybe that's what they're trying to introduce and see and test out to see if the feedback
Mm.
is good for that. Who knows? Because if you can do build your own Galahorn, why is that the only weapon that you'll be able to build? Maybe down the
Yeah.
road you'll be able to start building all weapons, here on out if you don't, want to buy them or whatever.
Yeah, they did a little bit of that with the year two. They had the sleeper simulant. You found these pieces of fusion rifles because the sleeper simulant is a heavy fusion rifle, and they found these. You found these little pieces, and it would like kind of contribute to it. And
Hmm.
with the like I just got the Ace of Spades. You had to dismantle other hand
And that was
cannons to
a
get it.
that was an exotic quest though, right?
Yeah, part of the exotic quest.
Right, but
I
I'm
think that's
saying
the way
like,
the Galahorn's going to be too. It's going to be a quest chain, and then at the
hmm
end you get the Galahorn. Which I see what you're saying. My only concern with that is with the RNG. I don't want to get like 5 duplicate parts, and then spend 5 weeks trying to get the Galahorn. Like I hope that the game will register. The reason why I like the fact that it's a quest is because I think the game will register that okay, I already have part A. It'll next give me part B, right? Instead of getting 10 part A's and never getting part B. That would really frustrate me.
well, I do like the idea of having to actually, farm and search for, the pieces. And if you do get duplicate pieces, then just dismantle them like you would, duplicate armor or duplicate weapons that you don't want. And then, we'll get whatever, the glimmer and, feedback that they'll, have from it. Just like if you dismantle a weapon, you get weapon parts and stuff like that. So you get the corresponding whatever it would be for, dismantling the dismantling that. Yeah.
Do you not think? Well, my only well, wouldn't you get upset if you are trying to get the Galahorn, but let's say it's like together with a raid or something like that. Like obviously going to be some sort of rare drop. Um, what if there are like 4 pieces and you only get 1, 3, and 4, and you never get 2? Would you be pissed off because you would wait 5 weeks to get the Galahorn? I mean, I think it should be that hard anyway.
Well,
Well, it could
it
work either
for
way, I
me,
guess.
because if that's the case, then it could possibly be that your luck is that you would never find the last two or last one piece, and then you'd be stuck in the same boat that you would be are now, where people,
Yeah, with the
are lucky
Galahorn
enough to
anyway.
find 5 or 6 of them, and then,
Yeah.
so what I'm saying, I think it would be a cool idea for any weapon that you would be able not just having an exotic quest, but just having pieces and parts out there in the world. You'll find a spring here, you'll find a shaft here, you'll find a casing here, you'll find whatever it is to build a gun, and then you'll be able to build it, and it doesn't have to be a quest. It can just be something out there rare in the world that you'll be able to pick up and find.
Yeah. And I think that'd be really cool. If that was if that was like a mystery, right? If nobody knew what it was, and they were just collecting these pieces, like, oh snap, like I got the handle, oh I got a barrel, and eventually somebody will come out with it, right? Somebody will play 50 hours in the first day, in the first 2 days, and get it. But I think it'd be really
Doesn't
cool if
seem
it was.
possible.
Well, no, but
Yeah, I
yeah,
just
but
realized that my math
it
is
doesn't
actually
have to
really
be
way off
just
with that, isn't it?
it doesn't have to be one gun. I'm talking like a bunch of it could be for weapons too. I'm talking multiple
Yeah.
guns and weapons. You just find pieces
Yeah.
out there, and then so that way it's just not one person finding it, and then everybody knows what it is and where to find it. It's people have to if they want to put out videos, there will be multiple videos on how to find all these different pieces for different weapon parts. I mean, for different weapons and different armors. To build
Yeah,
them and
that it
forge them
sounds like
yourselves.
you're describing the division though, and I don't think Destiny wants to go that way. But hey,
Well,
we'll see if
that's what I'm saying. I kind of think that's how
Destiny.
they're thinking, at least for testing out how the Galahorn would be, because that's what it is. You'd find pieces for the Galahorn, whether it's out in the open world or in the quest, you would still find the pieces and then go to the foundry and then from there build it. And you'll be able to find, more and more and be able to build as many as you want as long as you find more pieces. So,
Right.
I mean, whether it's
Well,
in the,
we'll see. Like
yeah.
we only have the information that it is happening. Rise of Iron is happening. So we'll have to see at E3. Just exactly some of those details. I'm sure they'll drop some raid details and things like that. So keep a lookout. One last question on the Rise of Iron. Russo, do you think you're gonna get Rise of Iron?
Maybe, but I gotta get Taken King first, right?
You
Yep, you
do.
do.
You do.
And there, I mean, if
There's a
you,
lot
I
of
I mean,
mean,
shit
how much is
involved
dude,
in
Taken
that.
King now?
there's Taken
Honestly,
King is
after we
only
played,
around $29 right now too, and
yeah,
then the
I'll
price
probably pick
for
that
Iron
up
Banner
also.
is 30. Iron Banner
After
for
we
Iron
what?
Orange is 30. So
After we what, Russo?
After we played the other night, it was actually a lot of fun. I'll be
hell
honest.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
usually in Q's position where he was pretty pissed off, like, oh, blah blah blah. I was just like smoking everybody. I don't know how I was doing so well. I was coming up on top
Titans, man,
of the
Titans.
leaderboards.
You had your
And I'm
loadout. You
all,
had
Is
your
that
loadout that
it?
you're comfortable with, and
I wasn't only
that's your
I
like
was
Titan.
not
that though.
comfortable at all. I was just running around spraying, and somehow I was just like doing really well.
Well, you
And
know
I'm coming
what?
off of what was the last game I played for that? Like Doom, I think.
Yeah.
Or I was playing Super Meat Boy right before that. How the hell do
Yeah.
those two work
That does not
together?
translate.
Well, I think it's also
No, that
because you just
shouldn't,
didn't
but
really
it turns
care.
out it
You're just
did.
out there spraying, and then if you don't care, nothing to lose, you just gain more.
Hmm.
And for me, I
Yeah,
was like that because of that damn exotic quest, that I was going
yeah.
through and still haven't passed. That's why I was so damn
Hmm.
pissed.
I think the meta's friendly to you, Russo, and I think this is the way it's gonna
I'd
stay.
come
You
up
should come back.
after
Yeah,
I'd
come
come
on
up
back.
after a triple kill. I'd be like, this game sucks.
Well, let's hope to see
But all right,
the.
yeah.
Hopefully, Russo will join our fire team. Because honestly, if it's me, you, Q, and Kevin right now, that's four already, dude. We just need like one or two more people. I know Fierce will join us, in the fire team. That makes five if we can get her, and then we just need one more person. And we have a full fire team to do the raid. So that'd be sick if we could all get it together. Well, we'll see. We got a lot more of that coming, in the future. So to stay on Destiny for a little bit, but to get off of the Rise of Iron because there's already a lot of hype around that. Um, so what happened to these other expansions? So we had this whole thing where I remember when the photo leaked back in the day with Comet on it. There was the Vex Void episode 3, the Forge of Gods, which I think is what Rise of Iron turned into. So Q, tell me about this. I think you were the one who wrote this here, right? Hello?
Yeah, I'm not all too sure about the Vex Void turning into the Rise of Iron because I have a theory that I'll talk about, but for
Not Vex
sure
Void,
the take,
the Forge of Gods.
yeah, the Forge of Gods. But I'm for sure that Comet was Taken King. But
Yeah, it
my
was.
be my belief is that the Forge of Gods and the Vex Void. Let's see. Am I looking at the picture? Let's bring up the picture. Yeah. So the Vex Void and the Forge of Gods. I think it's a possibility that it's mixed into this this possible DLC. And if you already know that the Vex and the Cabal don't really like each other, you always see them fighting each other, just like the Cabal is always fighting the Hive or whatever. So all of the internal enemies are enemies of themselves. Um, so I think they might have just combined the two for the DLC that they're dropping now for the Rise of Iron
Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
because
I mean, a lot of people like this stuff leaks and people get all like overhype about it, and I think this was a legit leak. Like all the other stuff that we see right now, I think that's not a leak. Like they didn't, they had some intern like be like, "Yo, give me your phone. We're gonna post this on Reddit real quick and then delete your account." Like that was not a leak. The Rise of Iron, a lot of these things, I don't think are leaks. I think this is a proper leak. Someone actually, because this is like a really nice picture that I'm looking at right here. But I remember the original picture was like off to the side of someone's phone, like in their bag, at a conference. And to me, a lot of this stuff, when we look at like when I make a piece of artwork and I have my sketches, like it's like looking at someone's sketchbook. Like I know that big companies are different, and believe me, I do not trust Activision or Ubisoft, or any of them. I hate them all. Um, Even though they make a lot of these games possible with their producing and with their money, with their investments, I still hate them, and I think that they screw up a lot of awesome details to these games. And at the same time, I feel like that it's just their sketchbook. Like they are figuring it out as they go along, and I don't think it's necessarily a conspiracy. I think a lot of people are really, really pissed that it didn't turn out in this exact way. And yeah, for me, I think it's just them, trying it out. And obviously, something didn't work out right. So they were like, all right, we got to change this story somehow. And that's how we got the Taken King. So, I mean, we got here also like the deleted content of Destiny. And the guy that I watched this video, and this guy's really upset about it all. I feel the same way. Like making a game, I have no idea what it took to make Destiny and how many things they had to gut. We still have the whole thing about the writer quitting. And I
yeah.
still know what that's about. Like I don't have the details on that. I've never talked to that guy, and I don't think that guy's probably under NDA anyway. So he
Well,
he will
everything
never
that's
say
been
anything.
floating around behind him, and I think I brought up before in one of the podcasts, is that after the game was finished and made, every game has to get crammed into a 2.5 to 3 hour what they call a supercut, and you can't really get all of the pertinent information into the supercut. So things may be left out. So the story may be a bit choppy here and there, and
Or
the
non-existent.
or
Or
non-existent.
non-existent.
And the heads of the people, were like, we don't like this, and they said we wanted it to be this way, and we don't like what you presented us here, so we're gonna chop it up and do what we want. And he left because he was like, "Are you serious? We've been working on this for how long?" And then I show you, I show you this, and it's just you can't even we can't even compromise. It's just nope. We're gonna chop, 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 chop. So that's why he left. And apparently now he's working on something, something bigger and better that he's had a dream to do for the longest time. So I wish him all the best because I think Activision slash Bungie really screwed him.
Yeah,
And
like I
just
said,
like
I don't know that. I don't know that for sure. Like, I do want to believe that. Like, don't get me wrong. I very much think that's a plausible explanation to what happened. But I don't know that for sure. All I know is that we got the game that we got, and I'm not too like, I don't know. I guess I'm not that upset about it. I mean, we were talking about Overwatch last podcast, and what happened to it. Like that it doesn't have a story, but it was gonna be a full-fledged MMO on the scale of World of Warcraft. It was called Titan, and it got cut to bits. And the fact that it got cut to bits, I am a little bit salty about. But at the same time, because I really was
whoa,
looking forward to Titan, I actually wanted to. I applied to be on the on development of that. I applied to be an illustrator. They didn't hire me because I have no digital skills. I'm only a watercolor artist. But
well,
Yeah,
they
I don't
not
think
very
you can
helpful.
compare
no,
the
not very
two though,
helpful.
because the story behind Titan is the entire group behind that couldn't get along and confirm what they wanted to do and how they wanted that story to go. So that's why that was gutted and turned into Overwatch for the for Bungie and that writer. He was completely. It was just him as the writer, and then everybody else was like, "Nah, we don't like this dog."
That's the
So
story. That's
I
the
don't.
story you're being told, though. That is the story that you're being
Yeah,
There's
told.
but
We
always
have no
stuff
idea.
left on the cutting room
Yeah,
floors
we have
with
no idea.
games and movies, and they just recently released the next two games that were supposed to be Perfect Dark. The I think it was Perfect Dark Core and Vengeance, I think they were called, and they just released the entire stories because Rare and Microsoft didn't get along, and they didn't want to end up making those games. But you can actually read the story of Perfect Dark and all the crazy shit.
and
It was supposed to be like Earth goes through a wormhole and ends up like traveling through time, and as
That's crazy.
I think Titan,
It's already
a moon
ridiculous.
of Mars. Yeah, and it's just going through planets. Elvis, the alien from the first one, if you remember him, he's back.
That's
He
awesome.
ends up betraying you. Spoiler alert for a game that's not going to come out.
That's too bad.
Um,
That's too bad
yeah,
they didn't get made, dude. Yeah, that
yeah.
sucks. And
but
and the
yeah,
reason why I
but
bring it up is because Activision owns Bungie and Blizzard. They don't own.
mm,
I think they own. I don't know if they own Blizzard, or if they are like Blizzard Activision as a sort of like cooperation. But
Conglomerate.
but I think they do own Bungie. Either way, Activision is involved in both of those things. So you're gonna hear what you're gonna hear. Yes, we get a lot of leaks, but I'm sure a lot of information is taken out. And like it could have been that Titan was just like not the game. They were like, this is not gonna make any money. Change it. At the end of the day, though, what I'm gonna say is that we did get. I do love Destiny, and I do love Overwatch. So, maybe they didn't
yeah,
make the
I
best
like them.
calls, but they made good calls. They
But I
made
mean,
games,
you
and
can
they were
go
awesome.
back and actually do research and bring it up that a bunch of this stuff, if not all of this stuff that we've been getting for this DLC content was in vanilla Destiny, and they cut it up and now they're releasing it for extra money, for the DLCs, and apparently we're not going to get an actual true news story until Destiny 2 because of the new writer they have now.
I mean, yeah, that could totally be true, but I think I'm personally way over that, like since the beginning, because the way the game turned out was a good game. Like it is a good game. We're in a little bit of a drought right now in terms of content, just because the last update was September, I think, right? Taken King came out in September, um,
Yeah.
so I'm sad about
It's
that.
almost a year ago.
Huh? No, not a
That
year
was
ago.
almost a year ago.
No,
September.
last September.
Yeah,
It's
Taken King was last
it's June
September,
right
but
now.
the last update that we had was the September update for this new armor and chroma
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
It was a while ago, and we are in a drought. And the other thing that they always say is like, and I agree with them, is
9
like,
months.
9 months. Okay, fine, 9 months. Uh,
Almost closer to a year.
Closer to a year
Anyway,
than
yeah, go
not,
ahead.
than not. um, and we are in a little bit of a drought, but I've had a damn good time, and I'm still playing Destiny, and I'm still having good content and things like that. So yeah, maybe it could
And
have been put in, but
I
maybe it wouldn't have lasted that long. Maybe whatever they had planned was just not good enough. Maybe they couldn't code it correctly. Maybe anything. I have no idea. All I know is that I'm still playing Destiny, and I'm super hyped for Rise of Iron. And so all the
and I
calls that all the shots that they called were probably the right ones. Maybe sleazy,
yeah.
but the right ones.
Yeah, well, I don't know because sleazy. I mean, they're just all the stuff that could have been in the original game for $60. They could have had a better starting game that was kind of rescued and saved by the Taken King, um, and instead of making us charge 60 and then 30, 30, 60. We've paid almost 150 $60 for a game that we only should have paid $60 for. I don't know, but
I got
moving
you. Well,
forward,
we
I'm
can
kind of
we can
hyped.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can agree to disagree on that because I think there's a lot of discussion there. And like I said, I think we should do like what goes into making games kind of cast. Um,
hmm
but yeah, there are many opinions, and I'm
You
sure we will have this
You
discussion
know what I'm
again.
super hyped for
Let's
though?
not let's not tire it up. What's up?
you were mentioning before that Activision owns Bungie. Activision is just the publisher for Destiny. Bungie retains all ownership of intellectual property, regardless of
Ah,
its relationship with Activision.
Gotcha.
so it
I
really
think
is
that they
just
do
Bungie
So
just
they
screwing
do
them.
own
Bungie
Blizzard
still
then.
owns Destiny.
Gotcha. I think they do own
We'll
Blizzard
look into
then.
that later.
Yeah. Word. I'm sure they still have a say in like what goes out and what doesn't, but hey, again, I'm not in the boardroom, so I don't know. Let's move on to
Mhm.
Nintendo news because the Nintendo NX, speaking of new things, is being pushed back till 2017. It says here to add VR. Do you guys think that's true? I think Nintendo is just like drags their feet because they like to have their own IPs and their own jam. Like they just take their time on things. Do you think they're gonna really add VR?
It's not confirmed yet, but that's definitely possible. I mean, if in the last 2 months we've gotten confirmed that Xbox and Sony are adding VR to their consoles, I
Mhm.
wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo tried to do their own, like, not cheaper, but like family friendly VR versus what their own Nintendo spin on VR.
Yeah.
I mean, they may have done it first with the whole Virtual Boy, and we all know how successful that went.
Ugh.
I had one of
Bad.
those, man. I wish I still had it.
Oh, what? That's awesome. That's like a relic. Like you should have one of those and keep
Yeah,
it forever. Although
I don't know what
it might
happened.
make you throw up faster than your Oculus would, I
Yeah,
think.
and give me serious neck problems.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know, on the fence on how I feel about that. I don't have really strong feelings. I was a huge Nintendo kid. Like I said, on in front of my television is my Super Nintendo with Super Mario Brothers. It's one of my favorite games. Like the ending screen of that, like the ending credits of that, was one of my crowning moments as a kid. I loved Nintendo, and I think we all a lot of people can agree with me. We grew up with it, but I find that it's very much not like where Destiny is a social game. And I really hate to say this because I don't want Nintendo to go this way because they have Splatoon, which is really cool, but it's still not in the same
Mhm.
genre where a lot of the games that I play tend to be more social, like keep up with the Joneses kind of games. Um, I don't find any like incentive, not even incentive, like any rush to play Nintendo games, right? I used to be really big into Brawl back in the day. That one got me, man. I brought I got Super Smash Brawl on the day one when it came out before I had a Wii. And I bought the game and I took it over to a friend's house and played it there because I loved Melee so much. And I find a lot of the people in my life are just not into it as much. Like Merge was like, well, I don't want to talk about that yet. We got some news coming that way about a Nintendo.
Yeah,
But
I heard about that.
he's had a Wii U and he doesn't play it at all. And like all my friends that have Wii U's just kind of like it's kind of trivial. So do you think the Nintendo is gonna like capture it all? Would you get one since you guys are Xbox players?
No, probably
Well,
not. I had a Wii, and it was basically a Zelda machine. That I mean,
Yeah.
I got what was it? Twilight Princess. Was so excited about that. Played it like crazy. Was done with it. Put it down. Never picked it up again. Didn't touch my Wii until Skyward Sword came out. Played that one like crazy, and then that was like a week, and then that was done. Those were both great games, but once I was done with them, I was done with my Wii, and it's still just collecting dust. It's not even. I don't even think I could find the cables now.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? And like, I used to always say, I was joking around with my friends at PS4s. I'm like, yo, get an Xbox, play Destiny with me, be in my fire team. And I always joke about that. And they're like, yeah, I would. And I'm like, really? You're considering it? And they're like, yeah, I would, but that's really expensive just for one game. And I'm like, ha, I would never do that. Like, that's crazy. I'm just kidding. And then I think about the fact that like a new Zelda's coming out, and I'm considering buying the NX because the new Zelda's on it. And I'm like, holy shit! Like I'm in that category of people. But I don't know,
I'd
man.
do that.
Like, yeah, buy the NX for the Wii for Zelda,
Yeah, and this time I guess I won't lie to myself. I'll be like,
or
oh,
just
look at
tell
all these
yourself,
other
yeah,
games I'm not gonna play. But I'll be like, look, I'm just gonna buy a fucking, I'm gonna buy a Zelda machine.
yeah. I mean, I hope that they give us more because I'm totally down to buy a Wii U now, but because the price has dropped so significantly and all the games are out for it,
Hmm.
So I don't know. We'll see what their VR like how their VR compares because all these other people are definitely like you said. I think you hit it on the nose, Russo. They want it to be more family friendly and they want to bring their own twist on it. And the new
They
thing
always
is
have.
VR. Yeah, but and everybody else is beating them, I think, to the new thing. So I think they're gonna. I'm really curious to see what is Nintendo gonna pull out of nowhere as their new tech for their new console because that is their jam. What do you think, Q?
Hmm.
You gonna buy it?
shoot, I don't know. Maybe I have to see when it comes out. Uh, but real quick, I'm super hyped. I'm not sure, maybe I didn't hear you, but
Hmm.
um, I'm super hyped that now for Destiny they ditched the last gen. So moving forward, they're going to be processing it completely different between 360 and the Xbox One and the PS3 and the PS4 moving forward. So things that they couldn't do in the past because even they themselves said that they were hindered because they didn't want to split the difference between gaming. I guess I don't know what happened, what changed, but we all assumed it would
It's
happen at
time.
Destiny 2. Yeah, but we all assumed it was going to happen for Destiny 2. But it is time. But I
It's year
didn't think
three though,
it
man.
would.
It's Destiny year three. Like, come on.
Hmm.
Well,
Like,
yeah, and
I'm
Destiny
sorry,
2
but
was
get an
supposed to be
Xbox
out
One.
by now. Yeah. So I'm glad that they finally ditched it
No,
because
I'm
we'll be
glad that
able
they
to
take their
finally
time. I
see
think Destiny's
things
gonna
that
be
we didn't see previously.
Destiny 2 is going to be, I think, fall of next year. They're probably going to do the whole E3 thing again. And I'm super
Yeah.
okay with that. Like, I like Destiny the way it is. Don't rush it. Like, when I'm ready to play Destiny 2 is because I'm done playing Destiny 1, and I'm not. And in terms
Well,
of,
I'm
like,
not
the new
saying for them to
console,
rush it. I'm just saying I can't wait. I'm saying I can't wait, but then again, it's just a figure of speech because I don't want them to rush it. But I'm just excited to see what they're gonna be able to do now and what they have planned to do since they finally have ditched the older models since they said it was hindering them from doing certain things they wanted to do.
yeah, because I don't think the new Zelda is going to be on the Wii U. I think it's straight up going to be on the NX. And I think because they want to do this whole
Yeah,
open world, like, Zelda's going to be, like, apparently as big as Skyrim, if not bigger.
That'd be
In
cool.
terms of open world, and you can go anywhere, just like in what's it called, Ocarina of Time, where you can do some of the dungeons you can do in different orders and things like that. I think that's going to be amazing, and I think it's great that we're moving forward. I don't know if the Wii U. I don't think the Wii U's tired yet. Again, I'm not a Wii U player, but I do think that the 360 and the PS4, the PS3 are tired. Like, it's okay to keep making games for them, but if we're gonna
hmm
pioneer new, better things, new, bigger, better things, if you want Destiny and Zelda specifically to have their potential, like, it's gotta have new hardware. Just
Yeah,
because of,
nobody ever
like,
said check out this crazy last gen game or this new crazy last gen game.
yeah,
It's got to be on the new hardware, like pushing for
yeah,
something
like,
new.
seriously, make it
and
bigger.
as
Like,
far as Nintendo, uh, they themselves have said it's not really a replacement for the Wii U, but it's just a new, a new system. It's really a new way to play, and it's something that is going to be innovative that hasn't really been done before, and it's also a possibility that they could bring back the cartridges and or SD cards. Um, However, the pros would be for SD cards and their cartridges. Uh, Faster load times or actually no load times. Once you initially do your first load, then you would have no loading screens after that at all.
That'd
Um,
be great.
I
but
think it's awesome.
of course, yeah, but of course, the cons, especially with cartridges, are we going to be back to having to blow these things out ever so often, or sticking socks in between to make sure, it sticks in correctly, or what we used to do in the old school
Never
days.
heard of that one.
Um,
Socks?
yeah,
Yeah,
but
what? Explain
Never
also,
that.
use socks to
Explain that.
yeah,
I
hold
never
my
used
console
socks,
together.
dude.
you would roll a I would have to roll up a sock, usually like a baby sock or a kid sock, um, really small, and
A
stick it
baby
into the
sock. I
side.
feel like you're lying
Yeah,
right now.
no. And you stick it into the side because you if you turn up the cartridge, or the game cartridge, and you have the whatever the memory stick or whatever that's popping out of it there, right? So you would roll up the baby sock and you would put it in either the left or right side, and it would help stick it in there, I guess, because after a while the cartridge wouldn't fit in properly. It would be too loose, and the baby sock would help it stick firmly in there.
Whose baby sock did you
You are
steal?
crazy.
Well, I grew up with a baby sister. She's 7 years younger than me, so
And you were stealing her socks to play your video games.
yeah, I mean, yep.
It's
If it's
messed up.
that, or be bored twiddling my thumbs with her. So
She's
You gotta do
boring.
that,
She's
yeah.
a boring, stupid baby. Give her your socks. Trying to play video games.
Just blow your
yeah,
cartridge
but
like everybody
also
else.
AMD has just released figures or estimated figures that they're supposed to be making like over 1.5 billion in the next upcoming quarters, something like that. And
Socks or
it's
SD
because
cards?
no, for AMD,
Oh,
AMD
money,
the
money.
company.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Those are
So
graphics,
they're
sir.
saying
Graphics cards.
so they're saying that they're estimated to make like 1.5 billion, and it's all due to three companies that they don't want to name at the moment. They feel that they want to allow the companies to reveal themselves at their own time. So
Their own
if
E3
you do
conference.
the math, if it's three companies, I'm thinking it's going to be Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo. So with them having AMD chips,
Let's not come
I
from the
think they're
Ouya.
finally going to be
Oh
what'd you
shit, the
say?
Ouya, next gen Ouya, the Ouya 2 is coming out, you guys.
Oh,
It's
is
gonna
it really?
be.
I was just joking about that.
No, I'm just playing. Yeah, right. That thing
Okay.
tanked. Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's
that
gonna
did
be
not
SD
go
card
well.
only. It's gonna be great. Check it out.
But I think it's Nintendo with their NX or whatever it's called is finally going to try to be, if not on the same level, past the level of Microsoft and Sony, because previously they've always, it kind of seems like they've been two console generations behind whatever Sony and Microsoft has put out. If you remember the Wii, that
Yeah,
came
those are
out
big
in
claims though, man. Like
'06.
I see that, but
Yeah,
they've been
but
saying
that
that,
came
and
out
I'm
in
just like,
'06, and it didn't even have what is it, HDMI. It was still running the AV cores. It didn't come
yeah,
until the Wii U
yeah,
that
but I'm
the
saying
HDMI
like,
came into place.
right, but then you got the Xbox Scorpio, and you got the
hmm
PlayStation Neo coming out, so
No,
they're
yeah,
behind.
that's what I'm
They're
saying.
going to be
No,
behind
no,
now
no.
again.
No. Again, that's what I'm saying. They're trying to prevent. That's why the whole delay is happening, because they know, one, that they've always been behind and they don't want that to happen again. So now two, they
No,
are
I
trying to
get
add the
that. Yeah, no,
VR
I get that logic,
because
but I
they
don't
know
think they're
that
going to be
all of
because
the well, yeah,
because of
that's what they're
E3, like
pushing
they're gonna
for.
drop all of this stuff, and Nintendo's is gonna be like, we're doing that too. You know, it's like not a
Well,
secret
they're
anymore.
already they're already skipping out on E3, right? Because they're not really dropping anything unless it's going to be just a complete bombshell that they have it, ready and completed. But that's what their plan is, because they don't want to be behind again. Because I think they're fearing what Dreamcast, went through, a possible shutout and not really being around anymore because of their numbers dwindling due to Sony and Microsoft growing in numbers. So instead
Well,
of
that
being
was the other things.
behind,
I
they're
don't think
trying
Saturn.
to
I don't think
make
the Sega
sure.
Saturn went down because of Sony at Microsoft
You mean
necessarily.
Dreamcast?
But
Well, no,
yeah, the
yeah,
Dreamcast.
the Dreamcast died because it went up against Sony, because it went up against the PS2 at the time. It tried to come out at the same exact, like it came out like a week beforehand, and then the PS2 came out and it crushed it. And then there's no more Dreamcast. Now they're only making, helping develop and make games. But
Yeah, yeah,
but what
they had
I,
a lot of other issues that we don't have to get into now. But my
mhm.
point is, with the Nintendo is not in trouble of that because Nintendo makes they're not in trouble of crumbling at all because they make enough money. They make more money than like I don't want to be quoted as saying this, but like both of those companies combined. Nintendo alone, as far as the gaming sector, not Microsoft as a conglomerate. Obviously,
The
they're
licensing,
gigantic.
like all the stuff that they do.
They make
They
so
also
much money. They don't even need
they
to make
like just
games anymore.
roll on a completely different page than Xbox and Sony and
Yeah,
Microsoft.
they
Now
don't.
stop
They're not
listening.
even in the same
But
court.
they will put out like the Wii. You remember how hard Cow is saying right now? The Wii was the first and only really successful movement-based controller system, which that was like everybody wanted a Wii, and then nobody could get them. So the hype was like off the chain. Like everybody wanted a Wii, but they were sold out everywhere. They were completely under like sold. Okay, yeah. So we were just talking about the product shortages of the Wii and Nintendo in general. They do the same thing with Amiibo. So I mean, that's kind of the thing. They don't ship as many as they are like needed, so everyone wants one, and it's like the thing that you can't have. If there's like a stockpile warehouse full of Wii's that they can give out and everybody has one, then I guess it's not going to matter as much. But the fact that for like amiibos, you remember that whole amiibo shortage? People are
Yeah,
going
it's still going on.
crazy over that. Those things are never going to drop in price. They're
I
just
don't even know what the hell the Amiibo is.
it's a little thing you can put it on your controller and it'll like impact the game in a certain way. And it's just like also a little action figure that you can
Or like for me,
you know,
dude,
collect.
Oh,
for
okay,
Super
okay,
Smash
yeah,
Brothers,
yeah.
like Toon Link. Like I love Toon Link. If you have the character, then you can save all of your data on there, and that way, if you like go to a tournament, you have your amiibo, you like pop it on there, and it's like, oh, Patrick's here, playing his game, all your loadout and everything. Not your loadout, but your like controller settings, your name, all that sort of stuff pops up, which is
Yeah,
amazing.
those things aren't very expensive to make, but I mean they're kind of expensive to buy, and just the shortage of them. Everybody wants one.
Yeah, dude. And the other thing is that they like just with the Pokemon franchise alone, they could probably survive. You know, they got Pokemon Go
Yeah,
coming out, all this sort of stuff. So my point is that I don't think that they have any, that they're not going to, they're not in danger of losing so much as they obviously they more want to just keep up with the people like us. I think they want to go into like the hardcore gaming people, which is why they're like open world Zelda and
Hmm.
things like that. Maybe it's part of their thing. Maybe it's part of their storytelling because Nintendo's always been like, it's about the storytelling first. Everything else is after that. And I don't know what their numbers are like. Maybe they're not. They're definitely not. Compared to PS4, Xbox numbers. I don't think, especially not in the U.S. But I don't know. I don't think
Well,
it's being
I
pushed
don't know.
back
I just
because of
think with
graphics.
the
I think it's being pushed back for IPs and all sorts of other things like that. I think they're setting
Well,
up
I think it's
something way
being pushed
bigger than
back
that.
because of VR also, because they want just like Sony and Microsoft VR, they don't want to be left out in the VR dark. I think just like Russo was saying, it's going to be VR, but VR in a very Nintendo unique way. And I think, like I said, with the AMD numbers that they posted out or estimated numbers that they posted out, I definitely do think that Nintendo will have just something to say in a chip race from here on out. And you're saying, the PS4 Neo and Xbox Scorpio, the Neo and the Xbox Mini are supposed to be, dropping this December, and they're going to be revealed, at the E3 or whatever. But the Scorpio is supposed to come out in 2017, and now we're hearing Nintendo's NX is delayed to 2017. So if it is in 2017 that the NX comes out, I don't think it is far-fetched to say that that they can have the power that won't be behind anymore. Because if they do release it now, then the Scorpio when it comes out will be blowing it out the water. But if they release it along side with the Scorpio or a little bit before or after, I think, the Scorpio, even though it may beat it out, I don't think it's going to be beating it out by too much of a margin. And I think that's what they want. They don't want to be way too far behind because,
and I
they've
don't know
been two
about you
generations
guys.
behind. Go ahead.
I'm totally fine with like delays and stuff. I mean, especially with Nintendo, they have never, released a I mean, I want to say never. I can't think of one off the top of my head. Released a broken product compared to PlayStation and Xbox, where certain games
Nope.
come out and they
Right.
just don't work. Nintendo
Yep, they've
products have
never done
always
that.
worked. Yeah,
There've been a
There's
few
never been a
games
red
maybe
ring.
that that sort of flopped a little bit, and then people are like, not really into it, but it wasn't necessarily a bad game, and
it
it
wasn't.
surely
Yeah,
worked perfectly, like as
it
intended.
wasn't due to
The only
connectivity
one was
issues
Star
or.
Fox.
I heard it wasn't that bad. I never played it for myself, but I mean,
Nah, that one where it was the Star Fox game that was pretty much a different game with dinosaurs and everything, and they
oh,
pretty much
that
just
one you're
slapped
talking
Star
about.
Fox into
Okay,
it. Yeah, like that
Oh no,
one
but
was.
people love that
the
game.
game worked
Are you
fine.
kidding
Yeah,
me?
the game worked
Yeah.
fine.
And
It
people
wasn't
have
broken in
there's
any
like
way.
a rabid fandom of it. There's
Hmm.
like people are in love with. There's so much fan art of
Well,
those
I think
characters and
now
different, like
there's a cult
Crystal the
following
Fox.
for it, but I think originally people were like, what the hell is this? Because they were so nostalgic about, what they had previously. But now I think it's just a cult
Yeah, I mean,
following.
look at my name. I'm pretty smooth flying fox. Like I love Star
Yeah, but
Fox
it
64.
wasn't because
But it
of that
wasn't.
last one, right?
But what?
But yeah, yeah, but it wasn't because of that last one. It was because of the
The
ones that
original.
previously that
Yeah,
you
from
grew up on.
64.
Yeah,
But that was me. But that was me. Lots of people love that game. Like people were like, "What is this? This is not
Yeah, my
Fox.
friend had
Star
it, and
Fox." I'm
he
so
was big on
excited.
it.
Yeah. Anyway, the point is, it worked,
Mhm.
right? The game worked, and yeah,
The game,
Nintendo hasn't had a
yeah,
game that didn't work. So I agree with you, man. I'm okay with it, And my thing is that like I'm thinking about getting the Neo. I don't think my choices are like between the PlayStation or the Neo. Um, I just find Nintendo to be completely out of that league. Not in a bad way, but just like
yeah.
they're in a different part of my brain, a different part of my heart, really. And
I think
I'd like to
also
get a
they
PS. I'd like to get into PlayStation, but I'll probably buy that this year if it comes out or whatever. Like, I don't know. We'll see. What are you gonna
yeah.
say?
I think the Nintendo has really, especially for their consoles, they've really pushed the family oriented games, and I think that's where they might want to stay because the PlayStation and Microsoft, they've always been really, solo players, or if it is multiplayer, it's not really that get up and, move around, whereas the Wii is. The Wii is all about interacting with, multiple people, your family, get up and play golf or tennis together or whatever the Wii has to offer. It's about, togetherness, familyness, So I think that is an aspect that they have played up on and that they should keep up on.
Yeah, I
Nobody
hope
else is
that.
doing that.
I hope in the future they keep doing their local multiplayer because I really love that. Like, I'm thinking about getting a Wii U just to, because me and Sam had so much fun on that Friendship Friday, last Friendship Friday, I think,
Hmm.
where we played all the Wii U games. Like, she's really into that sort of stuff. Like, she's not really
You
into.
can't see me in that in the baseball and that the golf. I'll kill anybody in
Whoa,
that.
challenge accepted. Let's go, son.
Yeah,
Like,
it's on.
okay, yeah, it's on. You just dug yourself a hole, my friend. Wow, you're so going down. Yeah, you're gonna be
Okay, some
crawling all over
some
my
some drunk
floor.
Wii U.
Yeah, you're gonna be crawling all over my floor, trying to find your way to your bed.
For
Watch.
sure.
Um, so speaking of Sony, we got Sony Remote Play. Somebody tell me about this. Whose article is this?
That's all
Because
coming
it
Another
out.
one
looks,
of mine.
yeah, what's up?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
for Sony, I just came across this. It's something I hope that Microsoft does, but apparently with Sony, you don't even have to use a Sony uh, phone device, although does think it has to be an Android device. Sorry, iPhone users. But for any Android device, you're able to pair your PS4 controller because it has, the Bluetooth connectivity that it uses. So once you open up your Bluetooth in your phone, you'll be able to find your controller once you've activated, to activated your controller to connect to something. So once you do that, you'll be able to not only play the games that are native on your phone, but you'll be able to run your PS4 on your phone, and of course or tablet, and of course the bigger phone or tablets you have, the better screen experience you'll have. But
From
of
how
course
far away?
you'll have to be on the same network as your PS4. So possibly they're going to be working on, maybe having
So
your
a Wii U
PS4
controller.
on your on your phone on the go without having to have, on the same network. That would be kind of a cool idea, just to carry a controller with you and be able to, play, Uncharted on your phone, without having to have it connect to your network. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You just go to the Google Play Store, you download the what is it, Sony Play, and you'll be able to not only play the native games on your phone with the controller, but you'll be able to run and play movies and games from your PS4 onto your on your tablet or phone. So if you're cooking or in the bathroom handling your business, you don't want to stop gaming, go right ahead and continue playing on the go, in your own home. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, that sounds like a Wii U controller. That's exactly what the Wii U does. Except you don't,
Yeah, but you have to
for
have a
your
separate
PlayStation.
controller. Yeah, yeah.
No, that because the Wii U, you know what the Wii U controller
Well,
looks
yeah,
like,
but
right?
the Wii U, but it has a screen right in its on
Yeah.
itself. Yeah,
So
this
you
here
can
you
play
have
the
to have a separate
games.
controller. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, gotcha. Oh, so you're looking at your
yeah,
tablet, but you're playing with the
yeah. So
controller.
you
Gotcha.
can pair your PS4 controller to your tablet or phone using the Bluetooth connectivity through the phone, and you'll be able to use your PS4 controller to not only to navigate your home screen and all that stuff, but to actually play the games on your phone that are native to your phone from the App Store, and also run your PS4 onto your Android phone and be able to play Uncharted or God of War or whatever you have PS4 title games, on your phone, as long as it's connected to the same network. And I think it's a possibility. They're gonna try to work for, in the future to not have to be on the network, so you can be on the go and still be able to, be able to play your PS4. Yeah,
Sounds like
yeah,
they're just trying
PS4.
to beat. Sounds like they're just trying to beat Xbox
The
at
Wii
that.
U.
No,
What do
the
you mean
Xbox,
Xbox?
because the
Yeah,
Wii U already has that feature, right? Wii U is that is what the Wii U has always been.
that is what
You
a
want to
Vita
Hmm.
play?
is, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Too, is a Vita is was supposed to be that. You're supposed to be able to play your PlayStation 4 games on your PS Vita, and vice
That's kind
versa.
of like the fart joke of gaming, though. I like to think at least. Whenever somebody brings up Vita, like, oh, you actually bought one of those? Like,
Right.
I don't know.
I know
Well,
nobody with one.
yeah, so I guess they're trying to
I've never
re-envision
seen
it.
one.
They're trying to do the Vita without actually selling, a console for it. They're just,
That's what I'm
having
saying.
the app to be able to
They're trying to
stream,
beat out
right to your phone.
they're trying to beat out Xbox because well, not Xbox, Microsoft, because Microsoft wants to have that whole
The
ecosystem,
Windows
right?
10 stuff, yeah.
They're
Yeah.
eventually going to have that. Like they kind of already do. It's just about licensing and deciding whether you want to sell. Like right now, if I want Overwatch, a game like Overwatch that's that hype. Like, and if you guys got Overwatch, I would buy it for the Xbox, and I would also have it for the
Oh
X
yeah, I
for
was
the
also gonna
Windows.
tell you, I'm thinking about getting
I'd
that
have them
maybe
both.
next week.
Yeah, I would have them both. I would have it for the PC and I'd have it for the Xbox. That's, a good amount of money to play one game. So I think they're still in the realm of like, okay, we still got this console thing going on. Let's milk it for all we got. But eventually, I think you'll be able to just like turn on your PC and play Xbox games. So I guess we'll see
Yeah,
what
that's what they
that
want.
tech is like in the future. That's cool, man. I don't know if I care that much. I sometimes feel like, man, if I just had like if I could just play Destiny on my computer, like when I have my laptop over when I go over to my fiance's family's house and we have a big dinner or whatever, and everybody's just chilling watching a movie. Sometimes I'm just like, man, I wish I could just play Destiny right now. But I'm not gonna lug my Xbox around, right? But it'd be dope if I could just pull out my laptop and just pick up wherever I left off, play some Dark Souls or
Yeah, well,
whatever.
that's what they're aiming for with this whole, unified, universal system for them. You'll be able
Yeah,
to not,
we'll see
not
how
have to have
fast.
your Xbox on, not be on the same network, and be, miles away. Just have your laptop with you, and boom, Xbox. Let's play this.
Yeah, we'll see how soon that comes together. I'm not
Yeah.
holding my breath for it. A lot of it
Yeah,
is
no, that's fair.
licensing, to be honest. But we'll see. I'm thinking, guys, we're gonna skip the Fallout 5 info just because E3's coming out. So let's see
Yeah,
if
Fallout 5's in pre-production. I
yeah.
mean, surprise. I mean, right?
I mean, I
Like,
like. Okay, we could
I'm
touch
not
upon
surprised
it
by that
because
at
like,
all.
no, I'm not
Just
surprised by that
that's
at
it.
all. But I also want I'm like I'd rather them stack their stuff. You know what I mean? Like Skyrim is coming out the remastered edition for Xbox One. I'm gonna be playing the crap out of that. Because it's got all the DLC with it and things like that, which is kind of cool.
Mod
But
support.
and my yeah, the whole I think we have that later. console mods. That's kind of amazing for me because like the whole reason why I want to get Fallout 4 on the PC is because of the mods, and now you're telling me that I can get them on the Xbox. So that's kind
Yeah,
of
they're up
amazing.
up
Yeah,
to 2 gigs,
and
I believe,
gotcha. Per or in total
per mod.
per mod. Wow, that's amazing. There's some really nice skins out there for like to make your whole,
Hmm.
you know, area look like a jungle and
Just
like
retexture everything.
yeah, extra greenery, like different colors, things like that. Although I'm happy about it. I think that's cool, or whatever. But I'm kind of disappointed that they're not working on the next Elder Scrolls game. I'd much rather them be working on that
I'm
since
sure
we
they
just
are.
got Fallout 4. Gotcha. Maybe it's just not leaked yet.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's a thing. We'll see if we get any news at E3. Allison Road is canceled, so we're not getting that at E3.
Which sucks.
Successor to PC. Yeah, you like horror games, right?
Yeah, I love horror games. I like horror movies, but PT looked awesome. I mean, Hideo Kojima
Yeah.
and Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo
That
del
just it was a
Toro.
trailer. It was a playable trailer, and it had the internet going crazy. It was so horrifying, and then that was canceled due to the whole uh,
Kojima
thing,
thing.
Kojima thing, and then Norman Reedus was in it too. That would have been cool. Um, it was Silent Hills, which would have been cool. And then they pretty much took all of that stuff and another company.
The Silent Hill games, by the way, if you have never played it, are horrifying. Like
Yeah,
not only for what happens to you, like it's got jump scares and all that sort of stuff, but like the really screwed up story that you're
they just
telling is
get in
just
your
like
head.
I hope it's better
disgusting.
than the
Yeah.
movie.
Hmm.
I've
And
never seen the
then
movie.
well, that was
I try not to
canceled.
do this
And
that to myself.
then Allison Road was picked up by Team 17, I think, the company that makes Worms, and it looked pretty horrifying. It looked pretty much the same thing as PT, same atmosphere, horror, like really nice graphics, and it was just confirmed on Twitter last week that that is canceled as well. So
Damn, that sucks, man.
no good horror games really coming out these days. You had what was that one I would just asked you guys about? Um, PlayStation game, Butterfly Effect.
Butterfly, Dying Light.
Nope.
Um,
Was
Okay,
it
whatever. Go
the
ahead. Oh,
dang, we just had it. We literally just talked about it.
the zombie game or
Until Dawn.
Until Dawn. That was it. Yeah,
Until
that was
Dawn.
pretty
Yeah.
horrifying. It was very short, but um, there's no good horror games. I mean, if you want to consider Resident Evil or anything, um, they're not really horror games. Scary games these days, like Doom, used to be scary, not very scary anymore. It's more of an action shooter than it is a horror game.
it's just
Um,
gory?
we need some good scary games coming out. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it looks like we're getting a little lull in horror games, and we're getting
Have
the new
you
trend is hero shooters right now. So
Yeah,
have you
let's
when
seen
hope
the
I
that
was a
the
preview?
kid, for like one of my birthdays, my friends got me The Thing, which if anyone ever seen that movie, it's an old horror movie in like Alaska or something about aliens, and it was just terrifying for its time, and it was just beat up old Xbox game. It didn't run well. The gameplay kind of sucked, but I remember just having all my friends over, and we turned all the lights off, turned the volume up, and everyone just sitting around the couch like, no, you walk in that room, no, you walk in that room. And that was awesome. Just a bunch of kids scaring the crap out of themselves.
word me and my best friend back in the day we watched for some reason The Grudge like Japanese horror movies just scared the crap out of us just because they were so like out of our realm, like
Mm,
Jason and Freddy Krueger. They didn't really scare me that much. Like when I was a kid, they scared me, but as a teenager, I was like over it. But
yeah.
we used to watch that, like these really weird Japanese things, and The Grudge really screwed us up. Ju-on
Have
was
you
the
ever seen
original.
Shudder?
No.
Oh man, it's like a South Korean film that is just terrifying. They remade it with the guy from The Mighty
I
Ducks,
love those.
and it
Oh,
was
I love
it's
those.
kind of scary. It takes place in Japan, and it's about like ghost photography. How like you take a picture, and then when you develop the photography, like there's an apparition
Oh,
in it.
yeah.
And it was maybe the Korean version was one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. I like didn't sleep for a week after watching that.
Yeah, we got our hands on a DVD of Ju-on, and we just like opened up all the windows. Didn't like put any blankets over us for protection. Turned
Lights
off
on.
all the lights. No, we turned off all the lights and then
Oh,
like
for
opened
watching
up
it.
all the doors. And then no, yeah, and then we just like watched it like idiots, and then we were just terrified the whole night. We were like, I
Yeah.
can't even.
No, we're not sleeping. That's it.
Yeah, just like, to mess with yourself. That's too bad, man. Hopefully something will come along in the future, and we'll see some sort of successor to that, because damn, that could have been good. I'm sure
Yeah,
Guillermo del Toro has a lot on his plate right now, but let's see if he comes back to video games, man. That'll be awesome.
that'd be great.
Yeah. So speaking of console mods, so how are they doing this? So people are stealing PC mods and putting them on Fallout on the consoles. Why does
Well,
that matter?
it's not really stealing because after one of the updates, I think it was 2.2 for Fallout. Once you log in now, on your main menu, you'll have like play settings and other options, and then you'll see the mod option. So once you go to that option, you click mods, and it actually tells you to sign into Bethesda.net. So then once you go over there, you'll sign in there and do all the setup on that account, and then you'll be able to from there choose whatever mods you want, and then once they download there, they'll automatically transfer to the mods section into that options on the Xbox One while you're playing Fallout 4, and then you'll be able to implement the mods at that point in time. So I'm not sure if it's really stealing there. It's actually a shared content that they have now going on.
They're saying that the stealing is coming from the developers, as in you made this mod for the PC. I am taking it, calling it my own, and putting it on the Xbox. And I mean, they're not paid mods or anything, but
No.
it's just this huge, like give credit where credit's due. That's pretty much
No,
the
that's
only sort
that's
of
art, man.
payment that these modders, these artists, it's kind of like an unwritten code. Don't
Yeah.
steal my shit. Don't take credit for
All right, so
all my
you're
hard
saying
work.
that the Microsoft for somebody is saying that it's their mods and not people who've created it for the PC previously?
No,
No,
it's
no, like you
other
make a mod for the PC.
developers.
Yeah, you make a mod for the PC, right? Saying that everybody's like big head mode or something, or everything's really nice Chrome. And I ripped that mod. I have it now, which it was free in the first place. But then I uploaded it onto the
And call it my
console,
own,
and call it mine. That's not cool.
saying that I developed it. And a lot of the cases are involving like pretty much just straight up copy and pasted text. Even like the how to install on your PC text are involved in the console. So I mean they put no effort into trying to conceal it, and it's not fair. People are angry. There's been a lot of people who've been blowing up Fallout 4. I forgot his name. The developer basically. They've been blowing up their Twitter about it, like trying to just get a response, get some sort of action, just get these stolen mods taken down. A lot of them are being grouped into like packages, like new texture packages that'll like incorporate 3 or 4 mods in one, saying that they're all mine. I developed them, and Bethesda commented on it and finally said, I'm not too sure if it's Bethesda, but if you want something done about it, you need to go through legal options and courses and issue DMC takedowns, which it's kind of
Yeah, you
passing
see,
the buck.
I never
Yeah,
heard
that
anything like
sucks.
that because if you go on, like if you do the way I'm talking about and do the Bethesda.net, it does say, created by such and such. So now I'm not sure if that such and such is the original person who created it, but it does give
That's
credit
the
to
issue.
somebody there. Yeah, okay.
That's
So
the
you're
issue.
saying
Somebody
that
is getting
whoever
credit,
posted
and
it
it's not
there.
always the person that made it.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, that sucks,
So
man.
that's
And
the
I
issue
don't
that's
even know.
happening.
Yeah, that's the free market, and like the making things what's the word? Not free,
Well,
but
if
open.
it's Go ahead.
Open source things. Like
Hmm.
that's the trouble with open source things is like if you put it out there, and the thing about modding is that I'm sure it takes a lot of work. All of those numbers that you're going
Absolutely.
through. That's a lot of work. But if you're making it something open source, then yeah, someone can just jack it from you and put their name on it.
I mean, the same thing happened
It,
with Valve. They put out their paid mod service, and people were doing the same exact thing. And that in that case, you're actually stealing revenue from somebody,
Yeah.
not just
Yeah,
credit.
like I was gonna say, if you're stealing money, then that's cool. I mean, then that's not cool. But I mean, if you're just
That's totally
but
fine.
yeah, I mean that's not cool at all. But if you're just butthurt, because you're not getting the credit for something that's free anyway, then get over it, dude. You know what I mean? You know that you did it, and somebody else probably knows that you did it. who cares that, people are downloading it and it's not saying that, you're the one who created it. I don't know. If
Oh,
No,
that
I
I
would
being
wouldn't say
care.
I
vague.
I'd
wouldn't say get
absolutely
over
care.
it. Yeah, that's not that you can't just get over it. Like that's your work,
Well, because if,
and you
if
put that
somebody
out
else
there
is
for the
getting
world to
paid
have.
for it,
Plagiarism.
then
It
if,
doesn't
if
matter if you
somebody's
pay
getting
for it or
if
not.
somebody's getting paid for it, then I want my money from it. Then hey, that is mine. But if it's just out there, then whatever.
You've obviously never developed a mod.
Yeah,
Nope.
or published anything.
Mhm.
Would like that'd be like if someone took, one of our streams or one of our podcasts and was just like, "Yeah, I
This
did
is
this
me.
with my friends. This is me." No, that's not
We're
okay.
not getting
Like
paid for it, but
there's certain
anyway.
code, that
Little
you have to.
side note,
Supercrouchjump trademark.
but a funny story. You know, Star Wars, one of the biggest rip-offs, because everybody when Star Wars came out had their certain things that kind of ripped off Star Wars. But one of the biggest ones, I can't remember the name of it, but you can definitely find it on YouTube. They literally just put a actor in front of a green screen and ran the entire New Hope movie behind him, and he was just acting out his their own movie with their own lines, with the New Hope behind them muted the whole time until they got to like action space scenes where they're dogfighting, and then you had the sounds from actual Star Wars in there. But that was ridiculous. How that actually made it to theaters was beyond me, but it's out there.
Wow,
Never seen
you
that.
look that up and link
It's
it
like
to me.
Kung
I
Pao,
will watch that.
but that's probably licensed.
Kung Pao is the worst movie ever. I love that movie. I saw it in
Yeah, it was
theaters.
so bad it was good. Yep.
Yeah.
The one boob
Um.
throw.
Yeah. Dude, the nunchuck, the chipmunk nunchucks, or they're hamsters, I think, right? Hamster chucks, something like that.
Yep.
So weird.
Gopher chucks.
Um. Yeah, we have to have probably an MS3TK style viewing of some bad movies because I got a few on my list, dude,
Hmm.
that I really love that I would love to show you guys. But yeah, that sucks, man. I don't know what else to say about that besides that I hope that the community, the good thing is that people have a moral code, and the internet, even though it can be an evil, vile, nasty place, there are places on the internet where people really do stick together. Like I always say that the Destiny community is one of the best gaming communities I've ever been a part of, and so is the World of Warcraft community, but it's very divided. Obviously, it's so big, so much bigger. So you have your sections where it's like nasty, but you have your sections where people are really for each other and have camaraderie. And there are lots of subreddits and places like that where people are very much with each other. And you got Anonymous, one of the biggest ones, one of the biggest advocates of just doing the right thing and shitting on people that don't. So I just hope that the internet, stands behind these guys and does something about it. Um, but that's art. That's what happens when you put it out there, right? Like, I put a lot of my own personal art out there, and I don't put watermarks on everything. But that's what you got to do these days to not get your stuff stolen.
Q, are you
But
playing Destiny right
Yeah,
now? Are you in the stream?
yeah.
that's so
Yeah.
funny.
God damn. All right.
I'm still here though. I'm still coherent.
Yeah, that's cool. That's good.
I know you guys are playing Destiny, dude. I would have logged in with you. I can't even. Um,
Yeah.
so let me log in right now. So yeah, man, that's Fallout. That's Fallout news. What do we got here? Console mods and it looks like Blizzard is considering cross-platforming with Xbox and PlayStation. They were saying that before. Actually, Xbox was saying how they wanted to have cross-platforming with PlayStation. Maybe they were only talking about Overwatch, but I don't know. That's something
Well,
kind of
no,
cool, right?
because
It's exciting.
again, I've already said the first that was in beta was Rocket League, and now it's out of beta. You can even check it out now. It's free for until the 12th, I think, the entire weekend. You can download Rocket League and then go to the network settings and open it up to be able to play with people on the Sony network.
That's really cool. I think that breaks down the barriers of console wars, and I also think that these people are like onto bigger, better things. These companies to care too much about the console wars anymore. And also, I heard
Hmm.
from E3, like, and we'll hear more about this later, that a lot of developers don't want to go with specific consoles anymore. Like they're opening it up and they're saying we're just going to develop for everyone. Um, so this is cool, man. I mean, for me, I'm just hyped that a lot of my PS4 friends I'll be able to play Overwatch with. I don't know if we'll be able to chat. I'm sure there's a lot of like logistics to be played out on that end. But yeah, I think that's really cool. and it doesn't make me
Yeah, because I'm not sure if chat was allowed for the Rocket League though either. Yeah, because that's something that definitely has to be worked out, payment wise. Like, how do you connect people like that through the network as far as chat goes?
yeah, and for me like
Emoji, it has like little, like go for it and like little actions you can call by the
Yeah,
D-pad
I
in
guess,
Rocket League. That's definitely
unless
allowed, but I mean, you
unless
can't
it's
invite them to a party chat.
yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say unless it's solely where, say, if they did it with Destiny, like me and Pat and you and Kevin could be, in PvP versus people on, Sony on the on PS4 or something like that. So we don't have to worry about, voice chat, with somebody on a different network because we're always going to be on the same network, but it's a possibility that we could be fighting somebody on the PS4 network. That I think that would be cool.
Hmm. Yeah,
They'd have to ensure it's a level playing field, but I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they would still have to do, because even now they do like, the Guardian matchmaking, if you're light, and your level, all that stuff, and how well you can handle with certain things, whatever. So they would do the same thing. They would match you with, people around your same level for the PS4 network or whatever. But,
yeah, my thing
that
about
way,
that
at
is
least
that if
people
they
would
keep
still be able to communicate with each other.
if they keep doing this, then I'm not gonna buy a PlayStation, So in a weird
Yeah.
way, I'm one example that like that may come to bite them in the ass. If PlayStation agrees
Well,
to this,
it
then
would
I'm not
it
gonna
would
buy a
have to only
PlayStation.
be
Why would
for
I?
games that aren't, solely for Sony or solely for Microsoft. It would have to be games that are, across both platforms.
Well, yeah, obviously I can't. I'm not gonna pop in, a PlayStation only game into my Xbox and expect to play it. But most games now, and especially if developers are not planning on going console exclusive, then what's the point of me buying a PlayStation? You know?
Yeah,
Hmm?
Um,
cowardice
No, I'm
is team
saying,
speak, but
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
team
think
speak.
that's
Yeah.
necessarily the best idea considering they both have their own native chat apps. Then, adding TeamSpeak, which could potentially be better, might just throw everything off.
Yeah, no, like for me, if I wanted to chat with you guys, we could literally just open up a Discord page and all be chatting through Discord. Like we don't have to use Xbox.
Yeah.
We just do because it's convenient, right? So that's not really
Hmm.
that much of an
I
issue for
think
me.
I, I think Kevin typed in the chat. It could be some type of third party app that could
That's me.
link us to. Okay, that's you. Okay.
But I
Yeah,
don't
like
think they
Discord.
would add
Yeah, that
a
makes sense.
neutral three-party app on a third-party app on consoles
Gotcha.
because why
No, and
compete with
definitely,
themselves?
probably not. Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, well, we'll see what that looks like. I mean, I like I said, I'm hyped to have be able to play with Merge for one, and then any of my PlayStation friends. Like, mad people are getting Overwatch, and I haven't gotten it yet, so I was gonna get it for PC, but now we're looking at mods for Xbox for consoles, and we're looking at um, being able to play on PlayStation. So that I mean, that's just awesome. So we'll see what that looks like in the
Hmm.
future and when they open that up. Um, Russo, why don't you tell us a little about your Mirror's Edge experience? How are you liking it?
It's
Mirror's Edge
fun.
Catalyst.
I'm loving it. That game's
Looks
actually it's
great.
pretty good. It takes a while to get into and into the flow of jumping across buildings and just getting smooth transitions between everything you're trying to do. But just sprinting across the city is definitely addicting and very satisfying if you are in the right mindset. I guess if you fall out of that mindset and you just keep falling or tripping and landing on your face, then it could be a little frustrating. But it's very exciting to just sprint across the city. I was having a little bit of trouble with campaign before, and then last night while you guys were just talking, I was completely distracted, and it just clicked. And I probably ran from the cops. They're not cops. They're like the police type figure in the game. I forgot what they're called, but I ran for maybe like 20 minutes straight of just consecutive running and not falling and
Just in the
dying or
zone.
anything. Yeah, I was just totally in the zone, and I wasn't even paying attention. So it like really just came and clicked,
That's
and
awesome.
that's very satisfying. It's a lot of fun though. The characters aren't too memorable, and I mean I wouldn't say they were in the last game either, but it's it's beautiful too. Just
And
everything
see,
looks
I
nice.
I always thought that this was a prequel that kind of led into the first game, but as you
Nope,
told me in
unrelated.
that did the research, it is more of a reboot or a rebirth of the first story, being
Hmm.
told new in a new way. Yeah.
similar
Kind of like
concept
Doom.
of like the ruling over party. Everyone's kind of like stuck in their own mindset of like, oh, you got to go to work every day. Like they're pretty much slaves to, I guess, capitalism, if you will. But
Hmm.
you know, these runners are they're like the free ones, the ones that aren't fitting into society. They just are free, kind of.
Is it kind of like the movie Logan's Run or that Justin Timberlake movie? Was it Out of Time or something like that? Which was kind of like a
Never seen
remake
it.
of Logan's Run. Really? Wow.
No,
Hmm.
so maybe, but I don't know. But
Well,
so
that's
far,
awesome,
I'm
man.
liking the game.
Have you beat it
I'm
yet?
not really sure. No, I'm not really sure where I'm supposed to go currently. So I'm just have been running around doing side things. I hope it's not a glitch, but there is no main objective on my map, so
It
I'll
kind
figure
of
that
looks
out.
like Assassin's Creed a little bit. Not, I mean, not looks like it, but it has that feel to it almost, where it's the open world and you have to run across buildings and do different things like that, where Assassin's Creed had that parkour effect in it too.
What came out
Yeah,
first,
we were playing the
Mirror's Edge
stream last night.
Mirror's Edge or Assassin's Creed?
I don't know. I can find that out,
Um,
but
yeah.
'Cause one of them played off of
uh,
the other one. I want to say it was Mirror's Edge.
possibly. But somebody last night in the stream, one of our new subscribers called it that those games are all Ubisoft games. Are you're a map janitor.
Map Janitor. Yeah.
Yeah, which I've never heard that term before, but it totally makes sense. Where you see the map as a bigger picture. There's collectibles and races and time trials on the map, and you just gotta spend your time and keep going through that. Like Far Cry
Do
did
them
the same
all.
thing for me. It depends on the game. Like I never really went through and got all the collectibles in Assassin's Creed, but I collected them all in Far Cry 3 and 4. And if you like the game, it's definitely a great way to continue playing the game without like once you're done.
Yeah, that's the thing that gets me, man. Like the time trials and things like that. Time trials in games and all of that. Like GTA really destroys me. Like I can't. I have such bad like. I just need to clear up the area of the map that I'm in. I get so obsessed over that sort of stuff. I have to do all the time trials. I have to get gold in everyone. I've got to get like the highest trophy or whatever. I get super obsessed with games like that, which is why I tend to like try not to play them unless I have a lot of time in the future. I love that stuff.
Assassin's Creed
So
came out in 2007, and Mirror's Edge came out
Oh, 05 or oh 06,
in
something like that.
2008.
Ooh, okay.
oh wow, right next to each other. Huh. That's
Mhm.
cool. I mean, they were in development at the same time, but I think that was back in the
Yeah,
day when parkour was a thing, right? People
but
wanted
that's
Yeah.
to
also
do that.
they're different. I mean, Assassin's Creed is a lot heavier on combat, and Mirror's
Sure.
Edge is just strictly run.
I just remember the marketing for it was like high speed parkour, you know. That's what we
Mhm.
wanted to do, and they delivered. That's pretty awesome. Um, so yeah, Russo. So speaking of time trials in games, and having like wanting to get gold all the time, you have this infamous time on Rainbow Road, and is that
Yeah,
Mario Kart for the N64?
this is Mario Kart N64. I was at my friend's house this weekend, and we like to play drinking Mario Kart, which is always great. But between rounds, I mean, you can't play consecutively more than 2 or 3 games of that without puking. So
Yeah.
everyone's digesting whatever's in their stomach, and we're all just sitting there at the like character select screen, and I'll just take over and I'll go to Rainbow Road on time trials, and I'll just try to beat my lap time. And we went on a camping trip a little while ago. I said camping, but we're inside playing video games, right? And we're at my friend's place, and we had played a lot of games of drinking Mario Kart to the point where I was pretty impaired. And somehow I set the high score on a lap time during that. I don't know how I did it. And then the other night, maybe after a drink or two, I tried to beat my time, and I wasn't even coming close. I don't know how, but being severely impaired definitely improved my Mario Kart skills for Rainbow Road at least. And this is I think I got it down to a minute and 27 seconds for the first lap, and that is like 3, 2, 1, go, perfect start. Remember on Rainbow Road how right after it starts there's that like long drop where you can jump.
Hmm.
There's a
You did
shortcut
it.
where you jump
On the right,
you
on
touch
the left side, right? Yeah.
and you just skip like a huge loop, and you have to land perfectly on the track. If you miss, you failed, and you have to
pretty much
restart
last
immediately.
place.
But you also have to right as you land, you have to land perfectly, spin around, and do the 3-point turn, and then just keep going. And then if you touch the wall, I'm not going to pass my score. So I know the second I touch a wall, I'll restart. I'm like, no, it's not good.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh,
That's
come
crazy.
on. And it would get to the point where I was like 1 second. I was like 10 feet from the finish line, and I was out of time. So I had to restart
Oh
again.
my god. That's
But I
crazy,
beat it
dude.
after like probably an hour and a half of everyone just getting pissed off at me. Eventually, they just stopped complaining because they're like, he is getting better. So
You
I-
beat
I
it?
beat it.
Like-
And yeah, I beat it. That
Wow,
was a highlight of the night.
congratulations.
I'll bring up
Yeah, it
my,
seems
my
like-
score.
Seems
let
like
you
when
guys
Russo
know.
is not paying attention, just like in Mirror's Edge, you do your best, huh?
Yeah.
I
Everyone
have,
started
I-
talking, no one's watching the screen, and I just passed it. I like threw the controller down and was so excited. 1 minute, 28 seconds with 60 milliseconds, or whatever you want to call those semi-seconds. That
I
is
got,
my lap score. So if you can beat that on Rainbow Road on your first lap for time trials, send us a picture of it, and we'll give you a shout out on the podcast.
Yeah. You'll get something awesome. Yeah, probably just a shout out.
minute,
I
28
remember
seconds.
destroying my friends when I was super drunk and playing Brawl at one of my friends' place, and it was just like a typical party night. And it was just kind of the end of the night. Everybody's just like not having it. I'm the drunkest definitely out of anybody in the entire apartment, and they're just kind of taking care of me. I'm not throwing up or anything. I'm not sick. I'm just like sort of just slurring my speech or whatever. Not my shine, not my best moment, right? So I'm just kind of like over on the couch, and I'm like, they're like, okay, take his shoes off. He's probably gonna pass out here, and I just wreck everybody in Brawl. Like, I can barely see the screen, and I'm just
You
destroying
got
people.
one
And
eye closed, your head is tilted sideways, and you're just
they're
waiting.
getting pissed off. They're like, "What the fuck?" Like, mad. Like, people left the party because they were so mad. And until this day, I'm just like, I have no idea what you guys
Yeah,
are
I
talking
remember
about. I
Who's
don't
that,
remember that at all.
Who's that like drunken monkey kung fu guy? Who's got that like drunk fighting style?
It's,
Jackie Chan?
Jackie Chan is the drunken master.
Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the drunken
Jet
master.
Li also played a version of him, but Jackie Chan played, I think, 2, if not 3 versions of the drunken master.
Yeah, he is the drunken master, and he
In another
just destroys people.
just random side note, I heard and found out the other day that Jackie Chan's first role in film was in porn.
Really?
No way.
No, he was a
Yeah.
kid.
You
No.
can check
No,
that
no.
if you want.
No, that's
his
not
fo-
true.
His first role as
no,
a
'cause
kid
he-
in a
No,
Bruce Lee
because he
movie.
grew up he grew up in an orphanage, and he did ballet and all that stuff, and dance and karate. And his first role was in the Bruce Lee movie as a stunt guy, and he was the guy that got, if not drop kicked, he was the one who got roundhouse kicked to the neck or whatever by Bruce Lee in that movie.
It's called
But
All in
that
the
was
Family.
his first movie.
Came out in 1975. Check it out. Jackie Chan's in it.
What the
Nah,
fuck?
it's got to be some Asian look-alike.
All of
No, it's Jackie Chan.
Why would they credit him? Also,
He's
there may be
even-
more than one Jackie Chan.
He's not.
Yeah.
He's been asked about it, and he's like not ashamed of it or anything, too.
All in the Family porn? Because All in the Family is another.
All in the
I
Family
mean,
film.
that kind of sounds like
It's like a
incest too.
softcore porn.
That's hilarious. All in the Family with
Jackie
Jackie
Chan does not appear until 1 hour in the movie.
Wow, I'm glad
Oh
to
my
know all
God.
this.
So
Okay,
pass
that's
that
for
along,
that's
guys.
that's Supercrouchjump After Hours. Let's
Yeah, after hours when
Again,
we watch all of the
we are
films.
historians here. at Supercrouchjump.
All right, guys. I think that's gonna be the end of the stream. I'm gonna save this this price of a game thing because I think we spoke about that last time.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Just
So yeah, guys, that's gonna
yesterday
be
we
it.
broke
We have
100 days.
yeah, that's gonna
That's
be
pretty
yeah
exciting.
74 days of streaming today as of the podcast, and today's 101, right?
Mm-hmm.
Russo had the honor of
streaming as Supercrouchjump.
Russo had the honor of
Whoop.
streaming on episode 100. So that was awesome, man. So here's to 100 more, guys. That's quite a feat. That's consecutive. That is dedication. And
So I
we'll
guess
keep going
since
to.
if we missed
Right.
one day, that makes this 100.
I guess today's 100. Yeah, we skipped
This
Easter,
is episode 100.
but Russo decided that we're never going to do that again. So we got to figure out some plan to never miss holidays because you're a bigot and you don't care about holidays. You're
I
not an
like the
American.
idea of
You're gonna have to repeat that.
pre-recording
My controller
because
died.
I saw somebody on Twitch after the Destiny Twitch was done. They were playing Destiny, and I was like, okay, let me hop back on Destiny. But then I realized like the servers are for down for maintenance. I'm like, well, how the hell is he playing it and streaming right now? And then I go to his stream, and it says pre-recorded due to servers being down because of the live stream or whatever. So I'm like, oh, okay, so that's
Well,
pretty smart. So I think we could do that. We can just like pre-record
Mhm.
a stream and then just have it being played that night or whatever or however that works. Yeah.
I still
sure.
got that Game Grumps footage we recorded.
Oh shit, that was awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
did you ever send that to me? That was so much
Nope.
fun. That night. That morning, I
Yep.
guess. Was that night or that morning? Yeah, that
That was
night.
nice.
Man, what a good time. So yeah, man, so 100 days of streaming today, and we are going to be doing a little barbecue on July. Actually, a big barbecue in July. We'll have a little one in June. I think we're planning on a few 12-hour streams, so look out for that. Um, and yeah, man, that's us. We are Supercrouchjump. I am produced with Flying Fox, and you can reach me on my Facebook page of the same name, and at PS Flying Fox on Twitter. Tweet at me. I just did a whole. I just live tweeted all of the Bungie stream today, and I'll be tweeting a lot of the E3 news. So give me a follow and let's talk. My gamer tag is Smooth Flying Fox on the Xbone, so hit me up. I'm always looking for people to join my fire team in Destiny, and we're looking for people to join the Astonishing Hooligans. Russo, where can
Hell
we
yeah.
find you next week?
Russo on Xbox Live and Super Crouch Jump on Team Super Crouch on Twitter. And yeah, that's that.
A word.
I got
Q. Where can we find you?
And I'm Q, captain of the Hooligans. Welcome all recruits. And you can find me on Xbox. I'm Q Stewart, QST3WART.
Word, man. That has been our stream number 100, the Super Crouch Jump stream number 100. And this is Super Crouch Jump number 5. Super Crouch Jump out. Have a great week, guys. We'll see you at E3.
Playing Destiny right now. Are you in the stream?
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
funny.
God.